Rotherham United were one of the favourites to be relegated from League One this season, but after 17 games, the Millers sit 11th in the league on 23 points, and they are only 4 points off the playoffs. Now, after a couple of seasons of hardship and constantly yo-yoing between the Championship and League One, the Millers definitely need some solidity. That's where we come in, as today we are taking charge of Rotherham United with the end goal of winning them a Champions League trophy and ultimately making them the best team in Europe. So this is the Rotherham United team we have loaded into in FC26, and do you know what? For a League One side, this is actually pretty good. Now, I'm not a fan of the 5 at the back formation in FC26, so I will be changing it, but looking at some of the players who Rotherham have actually got, I am impressed. Sam Nombe, 67 rated, 27-year-old, he is one of the best strikers in League One anyway. They've also got this youngster, Drew Yearwood, who's 25-year-old and 66 rated. He looks like a really good player, but I have found one issue already with this Rotherham team. A lot of the squad are aging. Anyone from Kelly down to Dawson aren't going to get much better, and they all look like they could be key first team players. So objective number 1, inject some youth into this team, but not going to be that simple, boys. We have to try and keep the signings as realistic as possible in this rebuild, and Rotherham United don't really spend much money, so it is going to be really difficult in the early seasons. But in terms of young players, we have hit a bit of a wall. Rotherham don't own any real exciting youngsters in FC26. The 2 best youngsters they've got at the club who they actually own are Marvin Kaleta, a 21-year-old 62 rated right back, and Ajani Martha, a 64 rated 22-year-old left back. We are going to be focusing a lot in the early seasons on developing these 2 players, and Rotherham do start off with £2 million in the bank. I don't necessarily think this is a bad budget, to be fair, but we do need to bring coaches in, we do need to renew contracts, and we do need to get youth scouting done, so signing anyone on a permanent deal in the first season, highly unlikely. And speaking of season 1, we are using the live start points feature, and Rotherham starts off 12th in game. The game with Luton has been played in real life. It finished 0-0, which is going to be our first game as Rotherham boss in FC26, so hopefully we can get a decent result in that game. And as things stand, we are only actually 4 points outside of the playoffs still, so promotion in season 1 can be achieved. But I do need to alter this starting 11. I do need to get some more of our younger players into the team. So we've changed the formation up, and we're going to go with a 4-3-3 holding, which allows us to get young players like Kaleta, Martha and Holmes into the starting 11. And I definitely think the team's looking stronger with these players in. We can focus more on developing our younger players rather than playing aging players who are probably going to leave at the end of their deals. We are in fact going to lock the starting 11 in for season 1 because the transfer window is closed. My only issue with this formation is I am lacking backup wingers. Now, unfortunately for us, Rotherham don't really start off with any young exciting players already in their youth academy, so I think we need to instantly make a bit of a focus on getting our youth scouts out scouting in season 1. And for season 1, we are going to be using this comment. We are going to be scouting Portugal, who have produced some of the best players of all time. Rotherham United likely to find one of those though with a 3-star and 2-star scout. I'm not too sure. We are going to be looking for wingers while we're over there, and you know what, if our scouts can find a decent winger, the likelihood is they'll go straight into our starting 11. Now, the first game of the rebuild is actually a Virtu Trophy game against Burton Albion, and I am not playing this. Now, the first actual game of the rebuild is Luton Town away, which, as we know already, Rotherham got a result in real life, so I feel like if we don't get a result here, this rebuild's already off to a poor start. But we're not heading into the game without picking a tactical vision, do not worry. We are going to go with counter-attacking system with Rotherham. I feel like this tactical vision is the best suited to our current squad, whether if we're not getting results, we can always change it up. Our first game as Rotherham boss does not get much harder than this, Luton Town away, who are in fact one of the favourites to get promoted at a League One this season. Chance for Adebayo. Oh, it's going to be a goal, and we are already 1-0 down. Oh, it's going to be 2-0. And it is 2-0. Baptiste with another goal for Luton. And Luton are going to make it free, aren't they? Ali. Oh my God. This has been an absolute car crash of a first game. And that would be full time. What an embarrassment of a performance. So we have arrived at the end of season number 1. Did that dreadful result against Luton affect our season? Well, no, it actually didn't, as we finished 9th in League One on 71 points. Only 5 points off the playoffs, which is really, really encouraging. With the right additions in season 2, surely we can make a playoff charge. But in the FA Cup, we would only reach the second round and lose to Mansfield 2-1, which is really disappointing. And this is how the team is looking at the end of the season, and unfortunately, we have not really seen a whole lot of growth this season. And Sam Nombe has handed in a transfer request, who is by far our best player. Really something we would have liked to avoid. We are also losing Tom Holmes, as he's only in on loan. We have got a really big transfer window coming up, where we genuinely need to bolster the team in the attacking positions positions, midfield positions, and defensive positions, which may mean we may see a lot of loans and free agent signings, as we're not going to get a big budget, and Rotherham don't really spend too much money in real life anyway. And just look at this, lads. Look how many players are leaving the club at the end of the season. And with Sam Nombe handing in a transfer request, scored 21 goals and got 6 assists, and nobody even got double figures after him. He is going to be massive to replace. So we are now in season 2, and we have got a fantastic budget of £5 million. This is an excellent League One budget. I really wish I could just sign whoever I wanted. The immediate positions we're going to have to improve are going to be striker, 2 new centre-backs, and a new left-back. And Portugal did not prove to be a happy hunting ground. These were the best 3 players we found, and for that reason, I'm sacking the scout. He is shocking. And we're going to spend a good chunk of our budget replacing the scout with Valentino Schmidt, who is 4-star, and he is instantly getting sent to a nation recommended by you. And for this season, we are going to be using this comment, and we're going to be scouting Cuba. And I still really need some young wingers brought into the club after Portugal bared no fruit, so we're going to be looking for wingers whilst we're in Cuba. So we have had a busy transfer window. We've had quite a few players leave the club and join the club. I do think we're in a better position to attack League One next season. The first player we signed was a new first choice goalkeeper from the free agents list, Patrick Gunnarsson, who's 25-year-old and 69 rated. He's a really decent goalkeeper for League One level. At all the clubs he's been at, he's never really held down the number 1 shirt, so he's got a chance to do it with Rotherham United. And we have made an incredible centre-back signing, Pavle Vagic, 26-year-old, 72 rated from the free agents list with amazing stats. Similar to Gunnarsson, Vagic has jumped from club to club and never really held a starting centre-back spot. He has got a great chance to do this now with Rotherham United in England. Now on to the loan signings. We signed Maxi Magoffy on loan from Lille for a season, 18-year-old, 66 rated. Unfortunately, there is no buy clause in this loan, but I think he still has a big role to play in getting us to the Championship. We then loaned in Ethan Wheatley from Manchester United, who's got a lot of experience on loan in League One. He's 20-year-old, 65 rated. We have inserted a buy option in this deal. It completely depends on us getting promoted, as it's £3.5 million. Now we made 2 cash signings with the Sam Nombe money. The first cash signing we made was Hayne Eames from someone in the A-League, who I can't quite remember who. 18-year-old, 61 rated, showing great potential. We signed him for 500k, boys. He looks like a great player, and he is going to be going straight into the team. We want to get him developing as quick as possible. We used the rest of the Sam Nombe money to sign the new left-back. Joe Johnson signs from Crawley in League 2 for 1.2 million. 20-year-old, 66 rated, really good left-back who has got decent potential as well. He's going straight into the starting 11. We did sell Sam Nombe for 1.6 million to young boys. We've loaned out a couple of youngsters. A couple more youngsters may go out on loan, which I'm going to do off camera. And we have also changed the Johnny Martha's position from a left back to a left winger, and he has jumped up by 5 overalls to 70 rated. He's going to be a massive player for us this season. So this is going to be the Rotherham United team to take us into season number 2. We'll lock in the starting 11 in for the new season. Can we make a push for the playoffs? Who knows? Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, see if we can get into the playoffs, because ultimately that is my goal for this season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 2, and remember boys, I wanted the playoffs this season. Well, scratch that, because we've only gone and won the league on 99 points. Rotherham United are back in the Championship. We won 30 games, only lost 7 times all season. What an excellent season for the Millers. Bring on the Championship. And we even made the 3rd round proper of the FA Cup and got a home tie against Arsenal, who beat us 3-2. Fantastic game, really good draw for the club. And this is how the team is looking at the end of season number 2. We've had so much growth across the team, and you may see that Tapia is in the team, an 18-year-old 70 rated academy player who has really good potential. We got him straight into the starting 11, and he's grown by 4 overalls already. Now the best player at the club is Martha at 75 rated and 23 years old, but obviously he has handed in a transfer request, so we're gonna have to sell him. No idea why either, just said the club isn't aligning with his goals, so we have to get rid of him. Now we have 2 more issues as well going into next season. Ethan Wheatley's loan's expiring and Goffey's loan's expiring. What I think I might try and do, and it is a bit of a risk, is try and loan them both in again on longer term loans instead of actually buying them straight out. I'd really like to make Goffey a permanent signing. 19-year-old, 70 rated, at the bottom of the pile when it comes to defenders at Lille. I definitely think there's a chance to sign him now we're in the Championship. Now at the end of the season we are also losing Ted Can. He is nowhere near good enough to play for us anymore. And in terms of stats this season, Ethan Wheatley was actually our top scorer, getting 15 goals and 4 assists, but our best player was Hayne Eames, who we signed from Central Coast Mariners. 14 goals and 7 assists, growing by 6 overalls. He has been an outstanding signing. So we are now in season 3 and we only have £7 million in the bank. Now, unfortunately, we are going to be losing a journeyman for this season. Even if I try and give him a new deal, he just wants to leave the club. I think we could get up to £10 million for him though, which should help us bring in an adequate replacement. Now, as we know, we have got a buy option agreed with Manchester United for Ethan Wheatley, but we're not going to activate it simply because it's too expensive given our budget. We may try and loan him back with better terms though, and the same goes for Maxime Goffey as well. We don't even have a buy option in this loan. We're going to end it and hopefully loan him back for season 3. So we are kicking off our transfer window with 5 new signings using our initial transfer budget. We have still got the Martha sale to go through. Now, we signed 2 free agents in this transfer window. The first was Will Goodwin, 25-year-old, 67 rated striker, who will be a backup this season. He is an ex-Wiganer. We're going to see past it. Our second free agent signing though, much more impressive. Mohamed Kaba joins us on a 4-year deal, 25-year-old, 71 rated CDM, who's got up to 80 potential. He's going to be our starting CDM this season, and I think he looks like a really decent player. And so far, we have made 1 loan signing. We may make more. George Abbott is in on loan from Tottenham Hotspur, 21-year-old, 70 rated, can play all across midfield. Really well-rounded stats. We have got a buy option of 2.2 million at the end of the season, which I think will more than likely take up. We then made 2 cash signings. The first was Ruel Walters, who was playing for Wolfsberger over in Austria, 22-year-old, 69 rated right back with decent stats. We did pay 2.6 million for him, which I think was a bit expensive. He's got upwards of 80 potential and he is a really decent player. But I do have a little bit of sad news, boys. We couldn't bring Maxime Goffey back in on loan, so we signed him instead. We paid 2.2 million for him, 19-year-old, 71 rated, really good player. If Rotherham don't want to keep yo-yoing between League One and the Championship, board are going to have to invest. That's our initial 5 signings made and our first budget used, but we are going to have the Martha money to work with, and it is looking unlikely that Ethan Wheatley is going to join the club. He is 75 rated at Manchester United and worth 11 million. Looks like it's back to the drawing board when it comes to signing a new first choice striker. So we have now arrived at the end of the transfer window, and as we know, Martha has handed in a transfer request. Weirdly, we've had no bids for him, which for me is actually a bit of a worry. As we can see, he is out of contract at the end of next season, meaning if we don't sell him in this transfer window, his value is going to massively drop. Teams will be able to buy him on the cheap and need to sell him now to get the maximum income in for him. But a little bit of better news, we have made our final signing of the transfer window. We've loaned in Jimmy J Morgan from Chelsea, who looks like a really good player. Season-long loan, optional future fee of £4 million at the end of the season. So hopefully a bid does come in for Martha in between the transfer windows. But as of right now, this is going to be the Rotherham United team to attack the Championship and hopefully not get relegated. We're locking the starting 11 in for the new season. We've got a decent bench with some decent options on there. Now, we do still have 1 million in the bank, but we've got a lot of contracts to renew this season, so I don't think we're going to be able to get any youth scouting done this season. So with that being said, I don't think there's anything else we can do but simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, and hopefully come May we are still a Championship side. So we have arrived at the end of season 3 and we have had an excellent season, finishing 13th in the Championship on 64 points, meaning we'll once again be a Championship team in season 4, and I think we've been really strong this season. In other good news, it looks like Bolton have stayed up as well. This has been an amazing season. In the FA Cup, however, we would lose in the 3rd round to Wolves 4-2. No shame in losing to a Premier League side. Now, we did have a really big issue in trying to sell Martha. Finally, someone did come in for him. He has gone to Crystal Palace for £7 million. He's now worth 10 million, so we probably got a shocking deal for him. And we replaced him with Adrian Blake of Utrecht, who we signed for £3 million. 75 rated, 22-year-old, really good player, good replacement for Martha, and he's someone who I've wanted to use for quite a while in FC26. And 2 more players did leave the club. Joe Powell left for £1 million and Denzel Hall left as well. But the team we are taking into season number 4 is looking very strong. 2 guarantees for season 4 though. We need to make Jimmy J Morgan and George Abbott's loans into permanent deals. They are 2 excellent players, and you know what? I actually think that could use up all of our transfer budget. And in terms of stats, Jimmy J Morgan was absolutely amazing, getting 23 goals and 8 assists. Tapia and Blake really good as well, and Eames once again chipping in with 7 goals and 5 assists. The guy's grown by 6 overalls this season. He has been a really good pickup. So we have arrived in season 4 and I have got bad news. We've only got £6 million in the bank. Now, this unfortunately means we cannot sign both Jimmy J Morgan and George Abbott, and to be fair, Jimmy J Morgan's on a 2-year loan. That is absolutely brilliant. That has actually really saved us, because I thought we were going to have to send him back. We've got another season of Jimmy J Morgan and we can make George Abbott's loan into a permanent deal. He's 75 rated, 22 22-year-old. We're going to get him for 2.25 million. Thank God we've got Jimmy J Morgan for another season. And George Abbott's loan is now officially permanent. What a signing this is. But that signing has really knocked our budget. We've only got 2.7 million left. We might only be able to make 1 or 2 more signings, and that's going to be our window done. Now, last season, with the Martha money, we did send our youth scouts off to England and brought in some good young goalkeepers. We're going to send both these two out on loan this season with a view to becoming first choice in a few seasons' time. Now, there's only going to be 2 more incomings in this transfer window. We've brought in 2 free agents to give us some depth. The first was central midfielder Sophos Berger, 25-year-old, 70-rated, decent player. He's in to be a rotation option from the bench. And we've also signed former Bolton man Richard Taylor, 27-year-old, 70-rated. Again, he is in to be a centre-back option off the bench, and he is left-footed, which makes him a decent asset, to be fair. Now, we're probably going to keep the rest of the squad together unless we get a bid that we can't turn down for one of our star players. Now, we have also let a few players go in this transfer window. As we can see, a few youth players have gone out on loan. We've sold players like Josh Ayers, Lenny Agbar, Joshua Coyote, Reece Wilson, Kane Richardson and Jack Holmes have all left just to bring some funds back into the club. I do feel like we will have a lot of contracts to renew this season, and players may start asking for big wages, so I want to be able to make sure I can actually give them the wages. So we are going to be locking the starting 11 in for season 4 unless a big bid comes in for one of our star players, which I'm really hoping doesn't happen. But we've got a really good team. We should definitely be able to challenge in the top half of the championship this season. Can we do so though? There's only one way to find out, and that is by simulating forward straight through to the end of the season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 4, lads, and playoffs was our goal this season. But we've actually achieved automatic promotion to the Premier League, and we nearly actually won the championship. Fulham finish ahead of us on goal difference to win the league. We finished 2 points clear of Everton and Sunderland in 3rd and 4th place. It was very, very tight in the championship this season. Luckily, we've managed to come out on top, and in season 5, Rotherham United will be a Premier League side. But no closer to winning any trophies. We lose in the Emirates FA Cup 4th round 1-0 to Stoke City. But we are taking a really, really strong team into the Premier League, but there's 2 positions that really need improving. We need a new centre-back and goalkeeper, as Gunnarsson and Goffey just aren't growing at the level we want them to. And we also need to make Jimmy J Morgan's loan into a permanent deal, which could be a very expensive deal. He's 23-year-old, 82 rated. He is the best player at the club, but he's going to want massive wages. I can see that signing using up a lot of our budget. Just want to give a shout out to Vadjic as well, who was signed as a free agent. He has grown all the way to 81 rated and has been an absolute stalwart for us so far in this rebuild. And in terms of stats this season, Jimmy J Morgan was amazing, 28 goals and 5 assists. Blake and Tappy are fantastic as well, and Eames once again, 9 goals, 5 assists, grown by 5 overalls. He is a real hidden gem in FC26. So we have arrived in season number 5. We're in the Premier League and we've got £54 million, which is a fantastic budget. And obviously our first order of business is to make Jimmy J Morgan a permanent signing. 82 rated, 23-year-old worth 34 million. We're going to get him for just 5 million, which is an unbelievable deal. And Jimmy J Morgan is officially a permanent Miller, but he is taking home 70 grand a week. But thank God we have got this deal over the line. He is key to our Premier League survival chances. And we now have 46 million to bring in a goalkeeper and centre-back, and we have wasted no time in signing a centre-back. Emin Bayram signs for 25 million. 26 million, should I say. This guy's an amazing player. He's 26-year-old, 80 rated, 6'4", with upwards of 87 potential. Now, we've only got 17 million remaining in the bank. We've got quite a few contracts to renew. We will be able to sign a goalkeeper, but we'll have to make a sensible signing. So we are going to look to bring Gabriel Slonina in from Chelsea. He's 77 rated and 25-year-old, and he is very, very affordable. He's an upgrade on Gunnarsson, but he's not going to be our endgame goalkeeper, I'm sure. And with just 6 million remaining, I don't see us making another signing. Now, we can finally get our youth scouts back out scouting this season, and we are using your recommendations once again. And after Scotland's recent heroics against Denmark, I've had to go with this comment. Now, Tom wants us to find the next McTominay, and we definitely are going to do so. We're also going to look for some defensive options while we're in Scotland. And if you are enjoying the video so far, boys, please be sure to like and subscribe. It does really help me out. We are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So we have also let a few players go, boys. Cameron Dawson and 2 academy players have left the club, purely because we've got better academy players at the club than these 2 guys. Now, we've reached the first game of the Premier League season, and this is the team we're going to be taking into it. I'm really surprised we've had no bids come in for Tapia so far. I was worried we were going to lose him in this transfer window. There are still 2 weeks left, however, but unless a bid does come in for Tapia, we are locking the starting 11 in for the new season, and our first game as a Premier League side is away to newly promoted Fulham. So for unexpected reasons, my frame rate dropped to like 10 FPS and I can't show you the game, but we did lose 2-1 to Fulham. So we couldn't play the first game. You know what that means. We're playing the second game, and our second game of the season's against Bournemouth. Let's try and get a massive 3 points, especially after losing our first game of the season. No, Doak could be in. Great tackle. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Great ball by Abbott. Come on, this has got to be 1-0. This has got to be 1-0. Square it. Morgan, 1-0 to Rotherham inside 20 minutes. And of course, it is our star man, Jimmy J. Morgan with a goal. And that would be half time. 1-0 to the Millers at the break. A really encouraging first half performance. We need that second goal though to just kill the tie off. Doak. Chipped in. That's a poor ball though. Win the header. Oh my God, are you joking? Straight after half-time, Bournemouth equalised through Ryan Christie. And it's actually a beautiful header, to be fair. Morgan, what a layoff that is. And Abbott's in. And we instantly have the lead back. 2-1 to Rotherham. George Abbott with a goal. What a layoff from Jimmy J. Morgan, though. And that would be full-time. 2-1 to the Millers. Now we need to build off this result. So we have arrived at the end of season number 5, and we have finished 12th in the Premier League, which is very, very impressive. 14 wins from 38 games, 50 points accumulated. Absolutely nowhere near the relegation zone. Fantastic first season in the Premier League. Let's build from this and kick on in season 6. But it would be another season with no cup run. We lost in the FA Cup to Brentford 2-1, and we lost in the early stages of the Carabao Cup 2. And I'm really disappointed, boys, because we have got an unbelievable youngster, Enrique Alvarez, who has just come back from loan at 79 rated and 19 years old, and I can't give him a new deal because he wants to leave the club. He's literally just come back from loan. Oh God, so we're going to be losing an absolutely amazing young player. But thankfully our starting 11 is looking absolutely fantastic on paper. This is an amazing team. Everyone's above 80 rated besides Cabot at CDM, so we are going to be looking for a new CDM next season. And given the fact we've finished 13th, I don't think we're going to get a big transfer budget. That could be the only signing that we make. So in terms of our stats, it was Adrian Blake who was our best player this season. He got 17 goals and 5 assists. Tapia and Jay Morgan were really good as well. But after our front three, not many goals for the rest of the team. We've now arrived in season 6, and unfortunately we've got a much smaller transfer budget of £32 million. However, with Alvarez handing in a transfer request, he's actually worth 29 million. I think I'm going to get a really good sum for him, which I could then reinvest into the team. My main goals for this season are to keep the likes of Adrian Blake, Thomas Tapia and Jimmy J. Morgan at the club. They are pretty much irreplaceable to us. And Scotland proved really fruitful for young players, especially Owen Somerville, who is 51 rated, 92 to 94 potential, but he's only 14. He looks like he could be a fantastic player for the future, and we are going to be sending Patrick McLeod out on loan this season. So we've made 2 free agent signings for depth just to kick the season off. The first player we signed was Oscar Boerson, 25-year-old, 75 rated centre mid, who's going to be a really decent backup option going into season 6. We then also signed a much needed backup striker, Junior Nadaye, 25-year-old, 76 rated, really good player. He's going to be another good rotation option off the bench. Now, we have had a few outgoings as well. Enrique Alvarez has gone to Benfica for 29.5 million. Really sad to see him go. He's only signed a 1-year deal there. I would have given him a 5-year deal at Rotherham. But hey, he's come through our academy and gone for 30 million. I think that's a really good bit of business. We have also sold Kean Spence and loaned out a youngster. More youngsters will follow. And we now have a whopping 54 million to bring a new CDM to the club. And we have made a very exciting CDM signing as we bring Tyler Morton back to England from Lyon for £32 million. Morton is 83 rated, 27-year-old, extremely well-rounded stats, really good player. I think this is definitely a realistic signing. Him coming back to an established Premier League club gives him a better chance of getting called up to the English national team, and he also gets to move back to his home country at the same time. And there has been another sale. Maxime Goffey has gone back to France for £7 million. I think it would have been unrealistic to turn this transfer down. He's a young lad who's come to England, fell out of the team, and now he's got an offer to go back to his home country. I think he would have taken it, boys. Which means we need to bring in a replacement centre-back, which we are going to do right now. Now, we've brought in Goffey's replacement. Nasser the Jiggers joined from Wolves for £12 million. 78 rated, 27-year-old, 6'4" centre-back with decent stats. Now, that will be our final incoming of Season 6. All we now wait on is seeing if we keep all of our star players. We've not actually had a single bid for one of them yet. So we've arrived at the end of the transfer window. We have retained our star players, which is a massive plus for us. This is going to be the starting 11 that takes us into Season 6. This is a really good team on paper. And with our transfer window done, there's nothing left to do but simulate forward straight through to the end of Season 6. So we have arrived at the end of season number 6, and we have had an excellent season. We've finished 6th in the Premier League on 64 points, only actually 5 points off a Champions League place. We have secured Conference League football for Season 7, Rotherham's first ever stint in Europe. That is crazy. And we still haven't had a cup run, losing to Millwall in the third round of the FA Cup 4-3. Another terrible result. We're just cursed in cups in this rebuild. But the starting 11 is now starting to look very, very strong. But I do have a small issue. I think it's going to be really hard to keep Tapia next season, even though we are in Europe. If a Champions League club comes knocking, he is definitely going to go. I think I could say the same about Morgan and Blake. We may have to give them new contracts and give them massive wages to try and keep them with us. But in the meantime, we do need to improve our starting 11 next season, and I definitely need to bring a new centre-back in to replace Vajic, who's 31-year-old and 82 rated. He is a fantastic player, but he's coming towards the end of his career and he's not going to get much better. We need to sign a centre-back who can progress the club forward and get us into the Champions League. Now, in terms of stats this season, Jimmy J Morgan was amazing again, getting 27 goals and 4 assists. He has been ridiculous in this rebuild. Tapia and Blake had good seasons as well. So we've now arrived in season 7. We've got 44 million in the bank, which it really isn't the best budget. Our primary goals for this transfer window are to keep Tapia if we can, bring a centre-back into the club. And we have got our centre-back as Jeremy Jackway joins us for £40 million. 25-year-old, 84 rated. The guy is absolutely quality. Is this a realistic signing for the stage of the rebuild? I certainly think so, but do you boys think so? Let me know in the comment section down below. But he is a massive improvement and he is going to be a really big player for us going forward. Now, this signing leaves us with less than £1 million in the bank, so if no one comes in for our star players, that will be our window done. And unfortunately, we have had 2 bids come in from big European clubs for Pavle Vajic from Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. We're going to accept both offers, boys. He is going to be leaving the club in this transfer window. It would be completely unrealistic to not accept them bids. And the moment has finally come. Liverpool have come in with a bid for Tapia of 253 million. We could actually get up to 400 million for him, but I'm not going to go that far. We will accept this 253 million offer and Tapia will be leaving the club. And there goes Thomas Tapia, who has left for 250 million. He follows Vajic and Shaw out of the door. We're going to have to bring a new centre-back in to replace Vajic, and we need to bring a right winger in. So we have brought in a new right winger and a centre-back, and we've only spent £50 million, which I think is really sensible given the Tapia money was so much. The backup centre-back we signed was Callum Doyle from Wrexham for 18 million. 80 rated, 27-year-old, really decent player who can also play left-back and even left mid. And Tapia's replacement is Bruno Durdov, signed from Inter Milan for £30 million. Third choice keeper at Inter Milan, so we've snapped him up. 23-year-old, 82 rated, fantastic player. A really good opportunity for him to progress his career with Rotherham. And with no further business expected to take place this season, this is going to be the starting 11 that takes us into the new season. We're locking the starting 11 in for the new season. It is a really good team on paper. Let's now simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 7, and we have qualified for the Champions League, finishing 4th in the Premier League for the first time in Rotherham's history. Can you believe Champions League football is coming to the New York Stadium next season? And in the FA Cup, we performed much better. We got to the semi-finals, but ultimately lost to Liverpool, who beat us 2-0. But we did manage to go on to win the Conference League. We beat Besiktas 4-1 in the final, adding a Conference League trophy to our trophy cabinet. To be honest, boys, I think if we didn't win this competition, it would have been seriously disappointing with the squad that we've got, as the team is looking absolutely quality on paper. I don't think we're going to have any struggles adjusting to life in the Champions League next season. It's obvious where we need to improve the team though. We need a new goalkeeper and we need a new right back. We also need to improve this bench by bringing in a new CDM, centre back, maybe even a new winger. But in terms of stats, obviously Jimmy J Morgan was one of our best players, getting 30 goals and 13 assists. Blake, Eames and Durdov were all excellent as well. Even Abbott chipped in with over 10 goals. Really impressed with our performance this season. I think we're more than ready for the Champions League. So we're now in season 8 and we've got a very competitive budget of 107 million. Right back and centre back are on the cards, and I wouldn't mind bolstering our bench a bit as well. And we have wasted no time in signing a new goalkeeper, as Martin van der Voort signs for 37 million from Nice. 86 rated, 30-year-old. This is an unbelievable signing. And a new right back has been acquired as well. Jean-Michel Aramburu, 40 million pounds. 50 million pounds, I should say. No idea where I've got 40 from. 86 rated, 29-year-old. The guy's an absolute beast. And we have also made 2 free agent signings as well. We've brought in a backup CDM, Mohamedou Suso, 27-year-old, 77 rated, really good player. And we also brought in Fabio Miretti from the free agents list, 28-year-old, 80 rated, can play loads of positions and he's got fantastic stats. And we have also trimmed the squad down a bit in this transfer window. As you can see, a lot of rotation players who had no real chance of playing this season have all been sold or loaned out. So we have arrived at the end of season number 8. How have the Millers got on? Well, we've only gone Rotherham won the Premier League, boys, on 82 points, 4 points clear of Manchester City. That is a Premier League trophy added to the trophy cabinet. Rotherham United, the champions of England. That is crazy. But once again, no FA Cup. We're losing the 4th round to Manchester City, but we'll have a chance to put things right as we are in the Champions League final, and we are in fact taking on Manchester City. Now, in the league phase, we finished 4th out of all the sides, meaning we went straight to the round of 16, where we would take on Bayern Munich and beat them 4-1 over 2 legs. We would then absolutely dismantle Liverpool 5-2 over 2 legs, winning the first leg 5-1. Set up a semi-final against RB Leipzig, who we beat 4-2 over 2 legs. City beat Barca on penalties, setting up an all-English Champions League final. And the team we are taking into the Champions League final is looking very, very strong, it has to be said. 3 United-rated players in Blake, Morgan and Eames. This is a fantastic team. And it is now time to announce the Hall of Famer for this video. Before we do that, let's check the stats. Jimmy J. Morgan, best player. Durdov, Blake, Abbott and Eames all getting over 10 goals. This is the hardest Hall of Fame choice I've had so far, because it is a toss-up between Jimmy J. Morgan and Hayne Eames. And I'm going to have to give it to Jimmy J. Morgan, who has literally carried us through some seasons. He's been an unbelievable signing for the club. He's grown to 91 rated. For that very reason, Jimmy J. Morgan is the Hall of Famer for the Rotherham rebuild. And now all that is left to do, boys, is take on Manchester City for a chance to win the Champions League. So before we get into the final, let's check Man City's team. I can already see they've got Erling Haaland, who is the best striker in the game. They've got a really decent squad, a couple of 85 rated players, a pretty weak defence as they've got a 76 rated right back and a 79 rated centre back, meaning we can get at them. They have obviously got the man mountain, that is Donnarumma in goal. I do think we've got the better team, and we're also playing at Old Trafford, you know, the home of City's main rivals. Oh no, good tackle. That is a brilliant last ditch tackle. Nope. Oh, big save by Van der Voort from Haaland. I need to stop going so quiet when City have the ball. To be honest, for a neutral, it's a pretty boring half, but it's been really intense. The midfield battle's been really, really solid. 30 minutes in, just the one shot of the game so far. And that's half time, lads. Really dull half. It's been a really cagey affair. City have had the only shot of the game, and it is 0-0 going into the break. We need to step it up if we want to win this final. Nice. Durdov. Cut back. Nice. Morgan! 1-0 to Rotherham. Our first shot of the game results in a goal, and of course it's the Hall of Famer Jimmy J. Morgan who gives us the lead. 15 minutes to go, boys. We're in a good position to win this game. Get a foot in. Get a foot in. Great block by Bayram. And there's the full-time whistle, boys. Rotherham United are the champions of Europe. The final, by no stretch, is that a classic, but all that matters is we are the champions. And all that is now left to do is lift the Champions League trophy, boys. Rotherham United are officially the champions of Europe. And that is another rebuild successfully boxed off. So just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe. It does really help me out. And I will see you in the next one when we head over to Italy.